dog says, let's get this potty, P-O-T-T-Y, let's get this potty started in here. I am out of control, aren't I? Welcome to You Talk Too Much. Special call with Mr. Ben Kinney. That's me, real estate agent from somewhere in Washington State. We service from Seattle to the Canadian border, and we have amazing agents in all my offices, and my team is rocking this year. We're just so excited that you guys could join us today. This is a Ben Kinney production. The reason I keep the slide here is I like the logo, but also nobody sponsors this. Nobody endorses this. If I say something that offends you, you cannot even complain because there's nobody to complain to but me. But type it in the chat box if I make you too upset. We always like those comments. Now, peoples, if you want to ask me some questions, hit me up on Twitter. The Twitter's at Ben Kinney. Maybe all of you guys just send me a tweet real quick so I know that you're out there making you multitask, chat box and Twitter. Can you believe this? This call is going to be redonkulous. It is going to be one of our most amazing calls. It's going to be fun. Okay, this call happily brought to you by my friends at Happy Grasshopper. Emily, send them out the link on how they can save money at Happy Grasshopper, happygrasshopper.com/Ben. And you save some money. I don't make any money, promise. Call Dan at Happy Grasshopper. I don't get a cent. I just love this guy. I just love him. Speaking of people that I love, I got to tell you, I had the opportunity to meet this gentleman on your screen right now. His name is Raul Amescua, and his wife, Vianney, Raul?
Vianney.
So I call her V because I'm so horrible pronouncing things.
She likes V.
V, I love V. Well, I got to meet these guys because they gave a whole bunch of money. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars to charity so they could come hang out in my office for a couple days, and we had a great time. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, guys, we have Raul here on the call. He's going to be my role play partner today, and we're going to go through the scripts and dialogues that you need to have an amazing business. And Raul, he knows his scripts. He's a prospector. He's pretty funny, and just him and his wife are just good people. And they're from Rancho Cucamonga. Did I pronounce that right?
You nailed it. You can move here now.
That's it. Raul, people on the call, are you listening? Are we ready to get down? Type it into the chat box. Let me tell you what, peoples. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be pooping puppies because this call is going to be that good. You know what I mean, Raul?
Oh, I hear you.
We're talking about happier than the guy that's pooping puppies.
Oh, how can you be happier than that?
Little golden retriever puppies would be my choice. All right. Whew. We got to get through the special announcements. Of course, if you want a seller site, we have them. We can make you look good and sexy, the kind of website that you need to make sellers hire you. I call this a come list me site. My staff will tweet out the link if you got information about seller sites. If you want to have a city guide to be a local expert, we'll send you out the information. We have a limited amount of cities, only 730, 750 total available. So we need to know what city you're from. If you would ever consider getting one, maybe type that into the chat box with your email. If you want a demo, they can do it for you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this stuff today, but my homie Raul is getting one, liveranchocucamonga.com. So if you're from there, you are too stinking late. He already got it. He already got
Grabbed it up.
He already got it good. And how many people on the call need some more listing leads? You need some more listing leads. You need Brivity Valuations. This is the sexiest tool I've ever built. It's simple and stupid, but I bet you're going to generate seller leads for an average of $2 or $3 a lead. And if you sign up for Brivity Valuations, we'll teach you how to do it. It'll blow your mind. Brivity Valuations will rock. Now, this call is brought to you by Brivity because Brivity is how we pay the stinking bills. Brivity allows us to manage our business. It creates virtual tours, single property websites that'll blow your clients away. It's a task management system for your team and your admin. It's a show and feedback and client communication tool. Let your clients know exactly what you're doing at all times. We call it transparency in the real estate. If we're not transparent in the transaction, they'll always question what we charge. Customers get a custom page that they get to see everything you do, all the places you advertise, all the tasks that you complete, all the showings that have happened on their property. They get to know everything that's happening on their listing, and you're going to have the most satisfied customers ever. Also, because we have a listing marketing tool on Brivity that allows you to post them to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Craigslist, Active Rain. Are you freaking kidding me? It does all that. That's amazing. It's amazing. And it's a database CRM, and we're launching massive CRM features soon, really soon, like secret soon, but really soon. We're going to blow you away. You're going to take all those other CRMs, you're going to wrap them up in a diaper, and you're going to throw them in the trash, because that's what they are. They are the cream of the crap. They are the best of the worst, and it's about time that somebody makes a tool that real estate agents can actually use, and my staff will be hitting you up the whole time with links and questions if you guys want information about that stuff. That's all the selling that you get today. Unfortunately, now what we got to talk about is you're talking too much. Here's the problem. You either talk too much, period, right? Or you're practicing the wrong scripts, or you're practicing too many scripts, or you're just saying the wrong thing. But in my world, I'll tell you something. The content herein is possibly created by me or borrowed. To be honest, I don't know if I made some of this stuff. Some of the stuff I might have derived or borrowed from somebody else. Whenever I can remember, I'm going to tell you guys, but I'm not making any claims of this. I'm just telling you what scripts do I use to train my team and to get my business rocking. Is that good for you guys? Huh? Peoples? Peoples? Yeah. Yeah. I'm out of this world today. I'm like amped up on caffeine and vitamin B. I'm going to freak out. Okay. The success principles. Raul, my brother on the call today, the real estate success principles. The first real estate success principle is say the right thing. What
Absolutely.
sort of an issue is that?
That is a scripts issue.
So, Raul, you and your beautiful wife, you guys came up to Bellingham, and you got to see how the Ben Kinney real estate team does scripts every day. Tell us about that experience. What happened?
Can we start with the mantra? Can we just yell it out?
Let's go ahead. Go for it.
Power up, power up, power up.
Power up. That's how we start every single morning. Every single script, we yell power up 3 times. And then what happens?
Then we roll the script. Basically, you say 3 times normal, 3 times extremely happy, and then 3 times angry or sad.
Yeah, and we'll talk about why we do that. And then how do we end scripts?
With ahas.
With ahas and also gratitude, what we're thankful for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, brother? Okay. So if you want to be successful in real estate, there's only 3 things that you have to do. You got to say the right thing, which we just decided was a scripts issue. You got to say it enough times. Do you know what sort of a problem or an issue that is, Raul?
That's basically what you would refer to as doing your 50. So basically making your 50 dials, or at least till you hit your 30 contacts for the day, 30 live touches.
You know what this is, Raul? This is your stinking job. This is your job. Are you showing up for work and doing enough activities? You know, like Babe Ruth. He struck out a lot more times than he hit home runs, but he's still a legend. Are you swinging the bat enough times? And like you said, we call that on our team, doing the 50 calls, 50 emails. Here's what I know. If you say it enough times, you can even say the wrong thing and be successful.
Absolutely.
If you say exactly the right thing, you don't have to talk to as many people. If you say it enough times and do it a lot and say the right thing, you're going to be rich. Rich. Do you know what I'm talking about, rich?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. The
freedom.
The third real estate success principle is have enough people to say it to. I'm working on audio controls. Can you guys hear me okay now? I feel like I'm talking really loud, but some people are saying they're having problems. If you are, just restart your system. That might be it. There's a chance you might not get back in, though. We have too many people on the call. Uh, third thing is to have enough people to say it to. What sort of a problem is this, Raul?
That's leads. That's either you don't have enough data or you don't have enough leads. So you have to roll up your sleeves and start finding those leads.
That's a lead problem.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lead problem. Either you got to buy them, or generate them from money like marketing or valuation sites or that sort of stuff, or you got to pay for them and buy them from somebody else. Remember, the ladder's the most expensive. The middle one's mediocre expensive, and the first one's you just go hammer the phones and make it happen.
Yep.
I'm cheap in general. I don't like spending money. I want to control how much money that I spend so that I can make a profit. I don't want to be the guy. Some dirtbag real estate agent the other day was sitting in Starbucks, and he says, because one of my friends was sitting right behind him, you know that Ben Kinney guy? He doesn't actually make any money selling real estate. All he does is makes money from selling his training and doing his webinars. Hello? If I was living on my free webinars, I'd be living with Raul. So if you have a real estate team, Raul, and you want to be successful, all you got to do is know the scripts, say it enough times, or hold your people accountable to doing it, or 3, have enough leads to do it.
Exactly.
This should get every agent in the planet to 24 to 48 transactions a year. That should be what happens. Yeah. If it's not happening on your team, then it's the 4th real estate success principle, which is have the right people on your bus. And that's what you guys got to decide. But what I say is if you're not doing 24 to 48 transactions, this is all you should think about every single day. Today, we're going to spend all of our time talking about number 1, say the right thing. Everybody on the call, if you stay with me today, we're going to give you all these, this whole video, all the scripts. You're going to get it. So don't worry about typing it really fast because this is going to be crazy. Okay, people? Whew. All right. Say the right thing. Say the right thing. If you say the right thing, you'll be more efficient. Your business will be more productive. Your team is going to require less leads. And your team or yourself, you're not going to be practicing on your clients. Raul, when you get a paycheck, do you practice drawing or painting a picture of your wife on it?
No, not at all.
We don't practice on paychecks. Guys, if you're there, hear me. Don't practice on paychecks. Screw up in front of your peers. That's what I'm saying. Okay, require less leads. Here's what I found. When I first started, what I thought is I'd go hire a whole bunch of knuckleheads and I'd put them all in a room and I would call it a team. But what happened is I hired a whole lot of the wrong people. The other mistake that I made, Raul, is I was giving them too many leads. Have you ever pushed a wheelbarrow and then you were trying to cut the trip in half or in thirds so you filled it really high up? Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah. I have.
And what happens to the wheelbarrow?
Oh, it tips over, and you have a big mess.
Yeah, it tips over. And then you end up spending the whole day cleaning up. You know what's funny is, Raul, we still have a bunch of people that are having audio problems, but we have a lot of people on the call that are hearing us loud and clear. Just so I can get a gauge, if you can hear me loud and clear, type in something to the chat box right now. A lot of people can hear me, so if you can't hear me, what I think it's your internet connection, or you need to restart GoToWebinar. Okay? Some of you guys can't hear, and I'm sorry, but I think it's the issue where you're at because everybody else can. I got about 1,000 people saying they can hear us, so I'm just saying that because I love you. Now, when we think about saying the right thing, I'm talking about mastery, Raul. Mastery is really created when there's a connection between a stimulus and your response. What does that mean to you, Raul?
How something is presented to you and how that feedback's going to come back to you.
Yeah,
or how you're going to respond to it.
What I want you to think about on this one, Raul, is I don't want you to think about it when they respond to you, because there's a connection between their response that stimulates your brain to give your response back.
Got it.
That's what mastery is. They say something, would you consider doing 5% commission? And you look them in the face and you say, no. That's all you say. 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, oh, that's cool, just ask them. Mastery is about practice. To master things, you got to do it with emotion. You got to do it with repetition. You got to minimize the number of scripts that you try to practice. That's why today is about, if you could only practice a few scripts, what would it be? This call is what I require my team to master. Okay. I'm going to go through each one of these throughout the call, and Raul and I, we're going to talk about emotion. We're going to do some repetitive things. We're going to do them. We're just going to focus on the important scripts that we have to get through. So here we are. To the bread and butter of the call. I can't tell you. It's going to be awesome. The scripts that we're going to use today are going to be about leads, listings, and leverage. Leads, listings, and leverage. Okay, Raul, you came up to Bellingham with your Precious, and
I sure did.
you spent a day in our office, and we got to go out to dinner, have a great time, and then you went to my class the next day. Let's start a second with, hey, what are you, and just so I can put you on the spot, what was your best year for commission, Raul?
1.3, 2005.
$1.3 million. So this isn't a slouch, people. Okay. These guys are awesome.
And that didn't count development. That was just real estate.
Just simple commissions. That's all he made. That's too bad. Yeah, he's slumming. Hey, Brian Crosby's on the call with us too. Hey, Brian. Okay. What'd you learn? What was your experience like? What did you take away? Because sometimes, I'm always surprised at what people bring back. What are you implementing?
The biggest thing that we're implementing right now, our first thing, is mojo. Basically, we just want to say the right thing as many times in a day as we can say it. We want to touch as many people as we can in that day. We want to make as many contacts as we can. That is our unilateral domino that we're dropping right now. And then the next piece is to master the 555 listing presentation. And then we're just going to keep growing. But it's basically about number one today that we're talking about. We just want to master what we're saying. Yeah.
Here's the analogy, Raul. How many people on the call have a bedroom, a closet, or a garage that is filled with stuff all the way to the front? I mean, like, you open the door and you start to cry because it's so filled. Type it in. Hello?
Everybody.
Yeah, look at all these people typing in answers right here. Yeah. Couple clean freaks, type A's in here I see. Here's what happens. I bought this duplex. That's how I kind of got into real estate. I saved up $11,500. I bought a duplex, lived in one side, rented the other side out to a bunch of college girls, which was cool for many reasons, Raul.
I hear you.
But I had my garage was just filled with stuff. And I get home from work and I think, dude, I am going to clean my garage. And I would open up the garage and I'd be like, ah! And then I would shut the garage and I'd go inside and I would grab a drink. And then I would sit down and I'd watch the Food Network or the Hunting Channel. Sorry for any vegans on the call, no offense. And then my garage wasn't done. And that happened to me over and over again, and that's what happens in business. There's these overwhelming things that happen. By the way, we have a very, very high number of people using Brivity. I mean, we'll have thousands of people signing up for Brivity by the end of the year. We're signing up 500 to 1,000 people a month right now on Brivity. The number one reason, we have a very small cancellation rate, about 5%. The number one reason why people cancel Brivity is because they don't get it set up, because they open the garage door and they say, I got to do a couple things, and then they shut the garage door. So here's what I did one day. I got ticked off. I wanted to get to my fly rods and I wanted to organize my stuff, So I got home and I grabbed one box and I unloaded that box, and then I went inside. I grabbed a drink. I turned on the TV. I watched some Emerald, bam, Lagasse, if you know what I'm saying. And the next day I went home and I did another box. And then the next day, another box. And the next day, another box. And by a week and a half, I opened the garage. I'm like, wow, I could actually get this whole thing done tonight if I wanted. So then I sprinted and I got the thing done. Does that make sense?
That's an awesome analogy.
Just sometimes you gotta poke away at it. You gotta just chip away at it until it seems possible. I'm not telling you guys to take on the elephant. Do you know what the best way to eat an elephant is?
One bite at a time.
Tabasco, Raul.
Tabasco.
Tabasco. If you're going to eat elephant, you need Tabasco. Or sriracha. That's a good call on the call there. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Leads, listening, leverage. You came up here. You're thinking about scripts. You're implementing. You're actually doing the same way that you start my team. You're doing the same. You're starting your team in the same way. You guys are doing your power-ups. You're doing your scripts. Is that correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did it this morning before this call.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Leads, listings, and leverage. We're going to talk about sphere and referral scripts. We're going to talk about buyer scripts, seller scripts, and talent scripts. Talent scripts are hiring people for your organization. Now, what I want you guys to think about is a powerful opening. A powerful opening. How long do you have to make a good impression on a cold call?
About 5 seconds.
About 5 seconds. I agree. About 5 seconds. So what normally happens is the real estate agent, what do they say when they normally make a call? What's a really bad way to start the call?
Mr. Jones, how are you doing today?
Yeah, that's horrible. You know why? Because number one, you don't really care because you don't know me. Number two, you're setting me up for a question that I don't want to answer. I'm automatically onto the defensive. If you guys start your cold calls or your conversations with that, that's stupid. It's not sincere. You have no imagination. People are going to make a decision to listen to you within the first few seconds of a call. Instead, use one of the below opening statements. Hi, this is Ben. I'm with XYZ Realty. This is just a courtesy call. I met you at an open house last weekend at Main Street, and then go on. Get to your point. Hey, Raul, this is Ben Kinney. This is just a quick courtesy call. You had just registered on my website, homeforinvestment.com, and I wanted to reach out to you. And Raul, this is a quick courtesy call. I see your home is currently no longer for sale. Are you still accepting offers?
If I get the price I want, I'm out of here.
We're going through these intros. Now you can do a different intro. Hey, the reason for my call today, Raul, is, and then you go through one of those things. So the two ones that we practice are, this is just a quick courtesy call, and the reason for my call is. What I'm trying to do, Raul, is I'm just trying to get to the point. Does that make sense?
Oh, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. I think agents are starting off the calls wrong. Don't start off on the wrong foot.
And I think a lot of times, too, if I can interject, I think a lot of times agents are scared that people don't want to hear what your real intentions are. You know, I think they feel like people know they're smart. They just want you to get to the point, and they appreciate that.
Well, I believe that friends are for Facebook. And when I go into my doctor's office, when he's checking out that rash that I have, I'm not trying to be his best buddy. I'm trying to get my problem fixed and get out of there. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
exactly.
You don't know about the rash, but you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to consider using some advanced techniques. An advanced technique might be a sugar lump. What is sugar?
Sweet.
Sweet. Are you sweet?
Oh, totally sweet.
If I asked V, would you say you're sweet?
Oh, absolutely. How do you think I got such a gorgeous lady?
You are lucky. You are a lucky man. Hey, sugar lump is starting off a statement with a compliment so that the people don't disagree with you later. You walk into somebody's house and you could say, I can tell that you have great taste. I can tell how much effort and time you put into that property. You're acknowledging right away that you understand how they feel about their home. Now, you're saying things like, when you get somebody, you're walking around the house and you realize that they're an accountant or an architect or something. You know those types, Raul?
Oh, absolutely.
Or somebody that thinks they know everything about marketing because they have a marketing job somewhere, or somebody that knows everything about the market or the pricing. I just start off with a compliment. Raul, you know a lot about the market. I can tell. And then what I do after that, I say things like, since I know how much you know about the market, in your gut, what do you think the home's worth? I like to give compliments to overcome the issues that are coming later. Like if I know they're having an issue with the color of the carpet or the cabinets or something stupid in the house that's going to cost a couple $100 to fix, but they're imagining it's going to be a lot, I start off with, I can tell, ma'am, that you're handy, and that projects like this, just they wouldn't overwhelm you because you know it's only going to be a couple $100. I'm taking all the objections away. A lot of people practice handling objections. I practice not creating any objections. Does that make sense? People on the call, you guys still there? Hello? The rule and philosophy that we have is I don't role play dealing with jerks. I made a decision in my life, I don't work with jerks. Does that make sense? So you don't practice. You don't practice jerk objections, or you don't practice with a tough role player. I just think if some guy's being a real jerk face on the phone, I don't want to meet him. I could care less. Does that make sense? Boom, 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 shakalaka. Okay. Work in your sphere and generating referrals. I'm talking about current clients, past clients, sphere, affiliates, your buddies, the people you used to work with. When I talk about sphere, I put them all in the bucket. Like if I'm business planning for the year, I don't divide out affiliates, past clients, and then my sphere. I just everybody's sphere. Everybody is a person that could refer me business. I would just put an emphasis on the order that I put these in: current clients, past clients, sphere, and then affiliates. I think that this is the order of value. This is just my guess, though. This is just what I think. Okay, Raul, you with me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Your audio is quiet. Speak up, home dog.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
That's better. Okay, Raul, I am absolutely so excited about getting your home listed. I know that I'm going to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. That being said, I have 3 goals for this transaction. And if you would give me a second, I would love to explain my goals to you and make sure that we're all aligned. Does that work?
That absolutely works.
Raul, my first goal, like I said, is to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. I'm sure that if I accomplish that goal, you'd be super happy.
Oh, be stoked, pumped.
Okay. There's a lot of agents out there that can do that. I know that I can do it as good or better than anybody out there. The second goal is where I'm going to stand out. Second thing is I want to make sure that you have nothing to worry about during the whole transaction, that you're constantly being communicated with. All the things that I do to get your property sold, you're going to get an email that says that I did it. I'm going to handle everything. It's going to be like the target easy button. You're going to hit bam, bam. It's going to be so easy. My team's going to take care of every detail. And when it's done, you're going to say, this is the easiest transaction, easiest thing I've ever done.
And I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you, because my wife is a detail person.
Yep.
And by you and your team doing that, it's going to make my life a lot easier. So thank you.
If I'm ever not fulfilling that goal, I don't want you to let it build up. I want you to text me or call me right away and tell me how I can improve. Is that fair?
That's absolutely fair. Thank you.
Okay. If I accomplish those 2 goals, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. Now, the third goal, it's a little selfish, but I do this with every one of my clients. And the reason I do this, Raul, is because I enjoy working with a certain type of people. You fit into that category. Good, hardworking, honest, decent, enjoyable people. I don't work with jerks. I don't work with mean people. I don't work with greedy people. Because I work that way, my third goal is that I would like, before I get your home sold, for you to have referred me at least one buyer or one seller that's interested in doing business. Now, if I accomplish all three of those goals, I'm going to feel like this is a huge success. Can you commit to finding me at least one person like you that would want to do buy a home or sell a home before we get your property sold?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure I can.
Okay, fantastic. And when I add these all up, does this sound like the best transaction you've ever been in?
This doesn't sound like a transaction. This sounds like just a good time to help me to get to where I need to go.
Since I already told you my third goal, let me just ask you right off the bat, who do you know that I should know right now that might be interested in buying or selling real estate?
I can tell you, actually, my buddy Brian at work, he's looking at moving. He's had like a sort of life-changing issue, and I know it's kind of stressing him out. And from your presentation today, I would absolutely love to get him in contact with you.
Perfect. You know, there's an office in Idaho Falls, and it's an awesome, awesome real estate office. And I went out there and taught for him, and we packed a theater in Idaho Falls, if that's even possible. But one of the agents in that office, one of the owners of that office, he gave me the script, and it blew me away. He gets 50 to 75% of his business from the current active transactions that he's doing. He says 75% of the time the people refer him a person by the end of the transaction. So if you're on the call today and you have an active listing, or you have a active pending, or you're going to get those this week or next week, you guys got to use this script. I want you guys to do me a favor, raise your right hand, and I want you to repeat after me. I promise on every listing and every pending to use the 3 goal script, and then type it into the chat box that you're acknowledging that you're going to do that right stinking now. It's a good script though, right?
Oh, it's a great script.
It's solid. It's solid. All right, we got to get rocking. The next script that we do is, who do you know that I should know? I want you guys to memorize this line. Who do you know that I should know? I learned this from one of my mentors, Miss Diana Kokoska, the president of MAPS Coaching. And she taught me this. And what I did is I took it home and I thought about, how can I make this apply to buyers, sellers, and handling talent? Just write down, who do you know that I should know? And I'm going to teach you how to use that for each one of those 3 categories. I kind of took her brilliant idea and I expanded it to match my business. Okay, here's another script we use a couple times a year. This is called planning the year script, Raul. And what I'd like to just say is, Raul, you and I are buddies in,
Correct.
you know, the Sphere call, okay? You with me?
I'm with you.
You're somebody that knows me. You're somebody that knows me. Raul, this is just a courtesy call, and, you know, we're buddies and whatnot. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to plan the rest of my year out, and I was thinking about taking some time off. Believe it or not, take maybe a vacation, go somewhere sunny, get these ultra white legs, a little bit of color. And I wanted to call everybody that I knew and that I cared about to see what their real estate related plans were for the year, so I make sure that I don't schedule my vacation during the times when you guys are all planning on doing something. So, Raul, let me ask you, do you have any real estate related plans for the year, buying, selling, or potentially investing?
Yeah, Ben, I have to buy like a 4-plex by the end of the year for tax purposes. I was actually going to call you and have you help me out with that.
See, Raul, why don't agents call their Sphere?
They're just embarrassed. They think that that their Sphere thinks they're just gonna call them for just to make a commission.
Did that seem awkward to you?
Not at all.
No,
Not at all.
it kind of flows off natural. The problem with reading scripts on the screen is it just sounds salesy. When you actually say it to somebody and they say, you know what, I was just thinking about that. We're going to buy something this year for our son that's going to college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You come back and you're just like, holy crap, this stuff works. And then all of a sudden you get over it. Because I would rather take a chance of inconveniencing somebody for a minute and taking care of feeding my family and providing for my dreams and for the people I care about than I would potentially inconveniencing somebody. Because if somebody cares about me, gosh darn it, I should be able to ask them this question.
Absolutely.
And luckily, I take a couple vacations a year so I can use this script a few times. Planning my ski trip, planning my summer camping, planning my spring whatever, right? It's okay. Just ask them. See, the key to this script, Raul, is what are your real estate related plans for the year? That's what you need to remember. That's what you need to remember. What are your real estate related plans for the year?
That's the hook.
Yep. And then at the end, you know, a lot of people we do business with know people who are thinking about doing business, and I'd love to get a hold of them as soon as possible to fit them into my calendar. Can you think of anybody right now that has real estate related needs?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Bada bing, Raul.
Bada bing. You know what's great about that script too, Ben, is you sound cool like the other side of the pillow. It's just natural. It flows.
Did you just say I was laying on the other pillow with you?
I did not say you're laying on the pillow with me. I said you're cool like the other side of the pillow.
Oh. B, if you're listening, your husband is hitting on me. Raul, since I made you blush,
a little bit. You did.
The best vendor script. Read this out loud to me real quick.
I was making a list of the best businesses, services, and products in the area for all our new customers, and of course, your product, being an HVAC vendor, came to mind. And I was calling to see if you're accepting new customers, and if it would be okay if I referred you some extra business.
Okay, so this script, this first part right here, I want you guys to memorize, but you're going to use it maybe in a better sentence. It's going to be, once you got it memorized, you're going to be, Raul, I'm helping a lot of families move into this area and move around the area, and they're always looking for vendors. What I wanted to do is I wanted to make a list of the best vendors out there, and you came to mind. And I just wanted to know, would it be okay if I referred your service to people?
Oh, yeah. 24/7.
You're okay with that, right?
I'm great with it.
Okay, now read the next paragraph.
It would be the best way to refer your business. Email, phone, or refer them to a website. The only thing I ask is that you get a customer that I refer. Could you just let me know so that my efforts I know that my efforts have been working?
You know one of the most rewarding things in the world to me, Raul, is knowing that I helped somebody else. So what I wanted to say was, what's the best way for me to refer you people? Email, phone, send them to a website. And would you just please, if somebody comes in and say they came from me, would you just send me a text, an email, or call me and just let me know that they came in? That would just make my heart feel great. Is that cool?
Sure thing.
Okay, next line, read it.
Since you have me on the phone, do you have two people that you refer real estate related business to and questions to?
I wish you guys had a highlighter, because what I want you to do is I want you to underline two people. Mm-hmm. Because you're already talking to people that have a real estate license. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is you're going to be out there calling people, and their wife has a real estate license, or their friend is, whatever. And what I just want to do is I just want to say, do you have two people that you refer real estate related business to? Because I'm okay being number two. And if they say, yeah, well, I have one, I say, great, I'd like to be your number two. The reason is, right, well, sometimes that person's unavailable. Sometimes it's not an area that they service. Sometimes a relationship falls apart. Or sometimes it's not an expertise that they work in, because I handle commercial investments, residential, new construction, whatever, right?
Right.
Ask the two people question. It'll get you a lot further. Then they don't feel awkward about it. And then I say, much like you, I'm always looking to build new relationships and find new customers as well. And if you feel that I'm someone that you could refer business to, I propose that we should just work together to generate new business.
It's a great statement, because now you're building a relationship over the phone.
Let's come up with a way that we could combine our marketing dollars or combine our audiences to help each other be successful. That's cool. That's cool.
Using the City Guide is a great source for that.
Yeah, I mean, the City Guide is it. Plus, you could sell them advertising on the site as well. Okay, Now, the last one is, hey, to be honest, Raul, is you might be impressed by all the marketing that our company does and how that could help your business as well. Maybe we could chat later on the phone or in person about some joint marketing ideas. I'd love to show you my city guide. I'd love to show you my website, the mail pieces that we're doing, those sort of things. Guys, I want you to say, raise your right hand and say, I promise, to create a best list for my area. Who's the best people that you refer business to? And always come up with two, because one of them might already have a real estate agent. So come up with two. Now, if my lady that I cut my hair by, right, if she referred business to somebody else, I wouldn't get my hair cut there. Not that I don't love her, but I only have so many times that I could have opportunities to be face-to-face with somebody, and I want to work with somebody that I can help their business and they can help mine. That's just a choice that I make. Okay. Boom shakalaka. Okay, we got to go. Buyer scripts. Whew. How are you guys doing so far? Is this a good call? You guys enjoying this? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old? Can you feel me? Yeah? All right, good. Buyer scripts. What is our UVP? Do you know what that stands for, Raul?
I do not.
Unique value proposition.
Oh.
What it is, why should you work with me? Because, Raul, to be honest, you're going to get your perfect home purchased for the least amount of money and the least amount of time. Emphasize on this script, perfect. Because people don't always want a home for the least amount of money. In fact, money isn't really the thing that motivates 80% of buyers. What do they want, Raul?
Well, they want usually schools. They want to feel like they can see a future in that home.
Yeah. They want to live there. They want to know what their family's going to be like. They want to imagine the picnics and the barbecues, right? So that's why I added perfect to it. And then I added least amount of money and least amount of time for all the people that just want a deal. Want a deal. Okay. Everybody that's asking the question, are we going to get these scripts? I'm going to send this whole stinking video to you. You're welcome. Okay, buyer questions, Raul. When our team practices buyer questions, we say these scripts 10 times each, and we say them out loud, and we say them with energy. So just so you guys can hear the chaos that happens in our world, Raul, start reading the first one 10 times.
Are there any other areas that you're interested in other than this area? Are there any other areas that you are interested in other than this area? Are there any other areas that you are interested in other than this area? Are there any other areas that you're interested in? All right.
You guys get that? That's what we do. 10 times loud. By the time you're done with all of the buyer question scripts, you're actually out of breath. You're out of breath. We got treadmill desks in our office too, so those are cool. We're out of breath because of that too. But this buyer question thing, what we do is repetition will create memory. The other thing is that information without emotion is almost never retained. You guys think you should write that down? Information without emotion is almost never retained. Information without emotion is almost never retained. So what we do is when we practice this, we'll say what's important to you about this area. We'll say that line in the happiest voice that you could think of.
What's important to you about this area?
Now say it like you're laughing.
What's important to you about this area?
What's important to you about this area? Just say it again.
What's important to you about this area?
Now say it mad.
What's important to you about this area?
What's important to you about this area? Now, is that angry?
You just want Hacksaw Jim Duggan on me. That was cool.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Looked like the UFC fight last weekend. We practiced it angry, happy. We practiced it laughing, and we practiced it normal because information without emotion is almost never retained. You guys get me?
And that is such a key piece, Ben, that I learned from you was the emotion piece, because so many times we have script practices and we're just kind of saying the same monotone voice, and you don't see that trajectory. And then once emotion starts going in, like after the first time we did it, you could start seeing the people. I can start listening because we're all calling together, listening. The guys on my team, the people on my team start making appointments at such a faster rate.
Yeah. We practice these things: happy, angry, laughing, normal, maybe sad. And at the end of doing this, I mean, you see the energy in our office. I mean, people come to our team meeting scripts and they're like, I want to join your company right away. I haven't seen this much energy in my office since they built the building because there's no energy. You walk into the office and it just sucks the holy life out of you because there's just a bunch of slugs there that are negative. They're not happy. So the way to change that is to start off with laughing. And we'll laugh for 30 seconds a minute. You did that in the class with me, didn't you, Raul?
Oh, RE8 Expo. It was
Yep.
awesome. In front of like
RE8
what?
Expo. We laughed, right?
1,000 people?
Yeah, we're just cracking up. Love it. Love it. Okay. Those buyer questions. We go through each one of them. Remember, you guys are going to get those so you can practice them yourself. Now, this is one of my favorite scripts, and I wrote this. And Raul, this question is important. This is, would you buy a home today if you could? Now, what that does is normally the normal agent is going to say, are you interested in buying a home now? And they're going to say, no, I'm just looking. But what I'm saying is, Raul, would you buy a home today if you could?
If I could, I'm all in.
But you might say, but I can't. Say
Right.
that.
But I might not be able to, Ben. My credit's a little shaky.
Now let me ask you a question, Raul. If I could get your credit repaired and get you pre-approved for a home where it was inside your budget in a home that you loved, would you buy a home today?
I would.
Would. I don't know if I can get your credit repaired that fast. It could be a short time. It could be a couple months. I want to get an appointment with you to get with my credit counselor and get you on the path to home ownership. And I want to be your agent whether you buy a home today or you buy a home in a year. Does that seem fair?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you guys get just how little of a tweak these scripts are? It's just little tiny things, guys. It's just little tiny things. Hey, if you're still on the call, type into the stinking chat box so I know what's going on. I need to know there's a pulse here. I need to know that you guys are what you're thinking. Okay, we got to keep going. Thank you for waking up, people. Okay, the interest rate script. Raul, this is Ben Kenny with Keller Williams Realty. I was reading the news this morning, and I was starting to think about you. I know that you've been looking online for a property for a while now. The news article was talking about interest rates rising and how that would start costing homebuyers a lot of money. For example, I don't know if you know this, but for every 1% interest rates increase, the monthly payment on your new home would go up nearly 10%, which doesn't sound appealing to me. Now, with that information, I was calling to see what your time frame is for purchasing a new property. Or if you own one right now, before it's too late, if I could refer you to somebody that would be interested in, or that could help you refinance your current home to get your rate lower, and you could just save some money. Well, whichever one it is, when could we get together to see what your options are to maybe look at some really good deals or connect you with our loan officer? Now, guys, does that sound awkward?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Address their needs.
It's gentle, right? I'm caressing you like on the other side of the pillow, homie.
That's right.
Just gentle, gentle. Okay. You notice that my tone of my voice went to caring. I was just reading the news this morning, Raul, and I started to think about you. And I know that you've been looking or thinking about a property for a while now. I see you on my website. And I go into the script. You guys should be using this on buyers because they aren't motivated because you haven't created motivation. Motivation can be created through the increase of prices. It's going to cost them money. You take a look at whatever the average appreciation is in your market. I don't know, Raul, what's it going up in your market? How much?
We're going up on the residential side right now, probably about 1%, 2% a quarter.
A quarter, so that would be roughly 4 to 8%. Let's say 6% a year.
Right.
So, Raul, in our market, properties are going up roughly 5 or 6% this year, which means if you wanted to wait simply a year to buy a home, that home that you could buy today is going to be $18,000 more expensive. And the unfortunate thing is, interest rates are probably going to go up. So you're going to buy a more expensive home, and your payment's going to be at least 10 or 20% higher. That sucks. So I was calling today to see if I could save you some money and ask you the simple question, would you buy a home today if you could?
Yeah, I don't want to get stuck with a higher payment, Ben.
Heck no.
You know that.
You and me, we got some extra money. We're going to Vegas, throw some dice.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Internet leads. Raul. Okay, you and me. We're at lunch. Okay? We just went somewhere. You ever been to New York?
I have.
Have you been to Cat's Diner?
No, I have not.
It was the O scene from Harry Met Sally or something like that on the call.
Oh,
right
I'm with you.
Is that the right movie?
That's the right movie.
People? The audience is not responding to me.
How can they not respond to that?
We're at Cat's Deli, and we're getting a pastrami sandwich. Pastrami on rye, to be exact.
Delicious.
Freaking amazing. I mean, I'd start walking now if I knew I could get there in time for lunch. Okay, so the phone vibrates because you just got an internet lead. And in your market, how much is that closing worth for residential, maybe?
Oh, at least probably $12,000.
$12,000. Now, this pastrami looks sexy, right? I mean, we're staring at our mouth's watering. We're looking at that sandwich. And then we look at the phone, and we look at the sandwich, and we look at the phone, and we look at the sandwich, and we think, I've never had a $12,000 sandwich. Have you?
No.
No. So we push the sandwich aside, and we call the lead back right away. Because if you don't, our statistics tell us that you're going to lose the deal. The MIT study said that if you wait 10 minutes to call somebody back instead of calling them within 5, you're 30 times less likely to get a hold of them. 30 times. If you wait 30 minutes instead of calling them in 5 minutes, you're 100 times less likely. Now, Raul, do you have $12,000 sitting in your garbage can?
Not at all.
No, I don't either. So you push the sandwich aside, even if it's Cat's Deli, and you call the buyer back. Here's kind of some of the scripts that we came up with for internet leads. Raul, this is just a quick courtesy call. I see that you register on my website. I was calling to say that I wondered, has any other agent offered to spend 10 or 15 minutes with you to talk about what's most important about your home search?
No, no one has, man. I've just been calling people and not getting callbacks.
What happens is that most real estate agents call to see if they could do business to get a paycheck. I want you guys to change that around to calling these people to seeing how you could help them by asking them what's most important about their home search. Now, if they say they aren't interested in buying, you can use the who else do you know script. The who else do you know script is the reason that I ask if you knew anybody else who was looking to buy or sell real estate is because I have a bunch of properties that are really, really a great deal, and they aren't going to be around later because they're going to sell fast. These are properties that are 15 to 20% off. And normally I found that people like you who are looking for a home tend to run into other people that are also looking for a property. And I know that you said that you're not ready for the next 3, 6, or 9 months. So I know these good deals aren't going to be right for you now. Who do you know that would be interested in a good deal? What happens, Raul, is one of two things happens. Either you're going to motivate them, they're like, what? I can get a good deal, like a bank on foreclosure short sale property? Or if they're not jerk faces, they're going to refer you to somebody that really is ready. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you. Absolutely. Or they're going to just say, wait, Ben, I can buy right now.
Yeah, you're going to motivate them. It's
right.
called the takeaway. The takeaway.
Love the takeaway. Okay. Almost as much as
best,
takeout.
The Best Buy script. This is the script that I make every one of my agents master. Hey, Raul, let me ask you a question. Are you by chance interested in a good deal?
I'm always interested in a good deal.
We ask that question because if they say no, I'd hang up on them because they're dumb. Nobody's going to say no to that question unless they're jerk faces. Okay, the reason I ask, if I found a really good deal, like a bank-owned foreclosure, fixer, short sale, would you be interested in seeing it, Raul?
Totally. Please tell me about it when you do.
Right now, actually, I have a list of the best priced properties in the county or in that neighborhood or in that city. When can we get together so that I can show you some of these great deals? And you're going to say what?
Oh, Ben, I'm kind of slammed. Can you just email them to me?
I really wish I could. The list that I have, all I have is a hard copy format. So I do need to give them to you. I have an opening today at 3 or 1 tomorrow. I could come to your house. I could meet you at Starbucks, or you could come into my office. What works best for you? And after we meet, if there's anything else you want to see, we can jump in my car and go view one. I've had guys literally drive to my office, park outside my office, honk the horn like I'm delivering some stinking milkshakes. I walk outside with a list. I slide it into the window. They roll the window up. They back away, and they drive away. And then what happens is I get them hooked on the crack. I get them hooked on the Best Buy list. And then they come back the next week or the week later, and then they want another one. And I say, hey, I'm not coming out and sliding it in like a freaking check at the bank, dude. You're coming in. And then when they're in there, then I start building a relationship. Happens to me all the time. They're cold at first, they get warm, and then they buy from me. Then they buy. Okay. Seller scripts. Some seller scripts that you're going to want to think about is, what are these questions that you need to practice every day so that it comes right off your tongue? Why do you want to sell? If you did sell your home, where did you move to? Would you be able to move without selling your home? Would you consider renting your home if your home doesn't sell? In a perfect world, how soon would you like to move? So what price won't you go below? Are you familiar with what your neighbors' homes have sold for? How much do you currently owe in your home? Have you ever thought about selling it yourself? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Master those questions so that you can create a UVP and then go through the questions to identify the additional values that's important to that customer. My UVP for sellers is always the same. Your home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And I like to ask with the least amount of effort. Remember, Ron, you're going to get all these. You're going to get all these. I'm going to send it to you, Ron. I promise. Okay. Now the next question, Raul, see, this looks familiar. This sounds just like the buyer one, right? Say that to me.
Ben, would you sell your home today if you could?
Now, Raul, what I want you to do is I want you to emphasize the things that need to be emphasized. Sometimes scripts, the most important thing is how you say it, okay?
Right.
Raul, would you sell your home today? Notice what I did after that, what I do? Paused. Okay. If you could. Would you sell your home today if you could? What I want you guys to do is I want you to go through every canceled expired that's canceled since 2007 in your MLS, and I want you to call them, and I want you to say that simple thing. Would you sell your home today if you could? If you could. Okay. Seller scripts. Raul, I was just thinking about you, and I bet you might have more equity in your home than you think. See, what did I emphasize in there?
You emphasize that you're confident that I have equity in my home, which makes me think that I might have equity in my home.
I sent an email out the other day to my buyer leads, the people that were searching for properties, that said, I was just thinking about you guys. You might have more equity than you might think. Use my home valuation website, Brivity Valuations. Check out mine, submitmyhome.com. Submitmyhome.com. And what happened is I got 1,000 seller leads from one email.
That's awesome.
1,000, Raul. You know what the dumb thing was? I never asked the buyers if they had a home to sell.
Oh.
And my team wasn't doing it either. They get so fixed on the fact that these people are searching for homes on the website. They're always trying to help them go see something, and they forget that most people that come to open houses, let's say some high percentage, have a home to sell as well. And a lot of buyers do too. And it might be in another area, but at least I can refer some referrals down to Rancho Cucamonga for you and V.
We love referrals.
That's what I'm saying.
Big part of our business.
My people on the call is going to send out your LinkedIn profile so that you get hit up on there. Is that cool?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You guys are the best.
Now, buyer leads to listings. This is a list of questions and scripts that we came up with that I use to identify if a buyer has a property to sell. And you could use this in an open house. You could use this on an email. You could use this on the phone with the internet lead. Raul, do you own a home currently? Do you currently own or rent? Have you checked recently to see what your home is worth? I'm just making an assumption that you will own one. Would you have to sell your home before you buy? How many properties do you currently own? Do you have any other properties that you would like to sell? How much would you like to get for your home before you buy? Do you know how much homes around you are selling for? Is your down payment coming from the sale of another property? If you don't have a buyer and or you don't have a home to sell and I said that to you, what are you going to say back to me?
If I don't have a home?
Yeah, if you're just a buyer, you're a first-time home buyer, and I say that to you, and you don't have a home to sell, what are you going to say to me?
Say, Ben, I don't have a home. I'm a first-time home buyer.
That's not bad. I've just narrowed it down, and now I know what you want.
Right.
But if you would have said yes, now I got two deals. Are two deals better than one?
Absolutely. And the listing's probably going to lead to a third or fourth deal.
That's what I'm saying. Ooh, someone was not allowed to enter this webinar because it's full. Someone was not allowed to enter this webinar because it's full. Interesting. Open house scripts. I want to go through this open house script. The open house script. I keep on getting this pop-up. Somebody was not allowed to enter this webinar because it was full. That's what they get for being late, people on the call. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Tardies. The open house script. When somebody walks into the house, I got this from one of my agents, so I love that I'm always learning from my people. When somebody walks into the house, the first thing he says, Raul, is, "It's a great day to buy a house, isn't it?"
I love that.
And then he shakes their hand. He says, "My sellers have only requested two things. Number one, you take off your shoes. And number two, you sign in so they know who's been here. Sign-in sheet is right here." That's cool, right?
It's absolutely cool.
And then what they do is they let them walk around the home unharassed. And at the end, what I want you to do is I want you to print out a list of properties that have sold, and I want you to print out a list of properties that are available. The next question I want you to ask is, a lot of people that come to open houses are coming here because they have a property that they'd like to sell or that they need to know what it's worth. Is that the case with you? Doesn't matter what they say. Once they say that, you're going to know, are you talking about the buyer sheet, the seller sheet, or both? Once you've answered that question, here's what I want you to say. Raul, here's the deal. I've created a list of all the available properties in this area. I'm going to hand it to you. And then I take that list, and on the top I write my cell phone number, and then I hand it to you. And I say, I put my number on the top. I'm going to be done with this open house in about an hour, hour and 15. If you see any home on this property that you want to go see the inside of, you let me know, and I'll go let you in right afterwards. Does that seem cool with you, Raul?
Absolutely. That's powerful.
And I'm going to look right now to see what other homes on the market. Can I get your cell phone in case I add any to the list? I'll just text you if that's cool.
Yeah, here, Ben. Here you go.
Yeah. And if you're a seller, I'm just going to say, hey, here's a list of the properties that have sold in the area. I know that you're curious what your home is worth. Drive by a couple of these properties today. Let me put my cell phone number on there. What I'd like to do is, if you're open to it, is I'd like to swing by your property tonight and just let you know what your home is worth. I'll be done here in about an hour anyway. Would that be okay if I swung by?
Sure, come on by,
and
Ben.
At the end, Raul, I'm closing for the appointment. I'm closing for the appointment. Now, circle prospecting. You guys, the guy on the phone here, he's a machine. He prospects for commercial things. I prospect for residential. What we do is we use Mojo, mojosells.com. If you want to be a serious dialer, you can't do it without Mojo, by the way. I mean, my agents on my team are making 500 to 1,000 calls a week in roughly 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay.
They're beasts. Absolute beast. I got to tell the world, they're machines. They're awesome, and they love it.
They're calling neighborhoods, and they're saying, here, we're calling, just quick courtesy call to see if you know anybody in the neighborhood that was interested in selling their home. We're trying to help a couple families get moved in before school starts. And then they're quiet. And then they ask the question, Raul, if if you're not interested in selling now, let me ask you another quick question. When would you consider selling? And you're going to say 5 years, right?
Right, 5 years.
Not for a while, 5 years. Great, 5 years. I'll mark on my list not to bother you until then. Let me ask you a quick question, though. If you could get a certain amount of money, would you consider selling sooner?
Yeah, if I could get 550 for my home, I'll sell.
Okay. And then say, can I get 550 for my home?
Can I get 550 for my home, Ben?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. What I'd like to do is schedule a time to go over there and look at it. Does that work?
Yeah, come on today after work or whenever you get off. I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, so you're circle prospecting for commercial deals. What do you say?
Ben, how are you doing? This is Raul Amesqua from KW Commercial. Reason I'm calling today is that I have a client who really wants to move his business into the Rancho Cucamonga market. For whatever reason, that's where he really wants to be. We've exhausted all the available and for lease properties. And Ben, I know you're a guy that's active in the market. You have a great business. Who do you know that I should know that would be interested in selling or leasing their property, either today or in the next 6 months?
That's great. You could also circle prospect through those people and ask them if they wanted to maybe move their business up or increase it or something.
That's usually what that's our follow-up question.
Okay, so ask that.
Okay. So Ben, I appreciate the fact that you don't know of anyone, but I'm sure if you think of someone, you're going to call me. But let me ask you this, so I don't bother you again, Ben. I mean, obviously you made it through the downturn. Are you going to expand your business? Or are you looking at moving to a different market anytime in the near future? And if so, how are you going to do that? Are you going to buy or lease?
Yeah. You guys, see, Raul, what he does is he circle prospects for commercial deals, and he gets much bigger paychecks than me. And it works. And what I bet is you have 10% of the competition that residential agents have.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't run into other people saying, "Oh yeah, I just got a call from so and so at this firm." And if I could just say something, the circle prospecting script, I think if anything you're going to start to master this one, because this works if you're a brand new agent, a veteran agent, if you're a mega with a team. This is it. I mean, I always hear people complaining in the market center about, oh, I have buyers that can't get their offers accepted. Well, stink and circle prospect. You know they're already approved, so find the home for them.
You go find a home that has no competing offers and you're the only offer on the table, you're going to get yours accepted.
And what's that buyer going to think about you?
That's really smart, Raul. If you're in a tight market, you got to do this. Now, I want to go through a couple talent scripts for you because you guys are going to want to start thinking about feeling your bench. Who are the new leaders that are coming into your organization? Who are the admin you're going to hire? Who are the buyer's agents? Who are the showing agents? All that sort of stuff. So the scripts that I use, would you change careers now, if you could? Raul, if there was another opportunity, would you consider changing careers?
Depends on what that opportunity is.
But if it was right, you would do it?
Definitely.
Another script. Raul, I just want to do a quick call or a quick LinkedIn message or whatever. Are you currently open to opportunities?
Ben, I'm always open to opportunities. What do you got for me?
I don't know exactly, but I want to get to know you and see if there's anything that works mutually for both of us. When can we get together?
Tuesday, 1 o'clock, when I'm done prospecting.
Boom, bada bing. The other one is you're calling your sphere, you're talking to buyers, etc., and you're going to know the who do I know that I should know script. It's going to be just, Raul, who do you know that I should know that might be interested in making a plus over six-figure income in the real estate industry that I could communicate with or I could reach out to? Or who do you know that I should know that might be a rock star administrative person that would help my business grow? You're asking this question to everybody because you want to have 10 or 20 choices. The difference is you're going to be letting everybody know that you're looking for a candidate, not to hire. And that your process means that you're not going to hire everybody you meet with because you need a special behavioral match. You're not just going to hire anybody. So they aren't disappointed when they refer you to somebody and you don't hire them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, when you're calling experienced agents, what that conversation is going to be like, Raul, is I have an opportunity where you're going to have less expenses than you've ever had. You're going to have more time that you can either spend with your family or more time to do the stuff that actually pays you, listing presentations or showing buyers, and you're going to get more business because of my systems and the leads that we have that currently need serviced. If I could make those three things happen for you and you netted more income than you ever have, would you be open to an opportunity with me?
Ben, absolutely. Working 80 hours a week, my wife never sees me, and it's not good. I need something to change up.
Yeah. It's an easy script. You got to do it. And the way that you get people wanting to be in business with you is you say, Raul, what are your income goals for this year? And you're going to answer with X, Y, Z or whatever. And I say, great. What are your income goals for next year? And where do you see your income being in the next 5 years? And you're going to ask yourself the question, is this person thinking big enough for me? Are they thinking too big and unrealistic? Or can I help these people really accomplish their goals? People all the time believe that working on a team is a step back. I guarantee you that I have lots of team members that make more money than 99% of the real estate agents out there.
You absolutely do. I met them.
Because we don't care about gross income. We care about net income. If you're building a team or being on a team, if you're on a team, you're going to want to ask yourself the question, do I have more time? Do I have less expenses? And do I have more business because I'm on that team? If you're not, you might be on the wrong team. And if you're building a team, you got to know that you could provide those three things. Now, Raul, what did we learn in the scripts today?
We learned how to say the right thing and what to say.
Yeah. And what's your takeaway from doing this with me today?
That you have to actually take the time, learn the scripts, know your pauses, know your inflections, and you have to practice with emotion. You can't get lazy and just read through it fast 10 times in a monotone voice.
Yeah, you don't really need to know more scripts than we talked about today. You need to memorize your listing presentation, but besides that, you're pretty much money. You're pretty much money. On the call, type in what you got out of today's call and what was your favorite part.
Ben, can I add something?
Yeah, please.
For everybody out there that's listening, Ben Kenny, great guy. His team is amazing. Hi, Jolene, Aaron, Brian, all the rest of you. But if you don't have a chance, Ben does so much to help other agents to just be better at whatever level they want to be better at. And the thing is, if you have the opportunity to everybody, if you want the playbook on how to grow your business so you can have more time, make more money, net more money, you need to attend his RE8 Expo. Ben didn't ask me to say that. He even asked me before the call, what do you want to talk about? I held that back. It was amazing. We saw it in Seattle. It was a room with about 1,000 people. It was absolutely the best real estate training I've ever went to, business building. One day. It's amazing what this guy can compress in one day.
Well, I mean, reality is I probably ripped off 99% of those ideas from other smart people. I just put it together in a package, and I enjoy teaching it. So thanks for that compliment. Raul, I don't know if your team uses Happy Grasshopper, but Dan makes my life a lot easier, and he's a giver, and he's got a great heart. And if you guys want to try out the easiest way to work your sphere, I call it Sphere for lazy people. I've been using it on my database for a long time. It's like 20-something bucks. Go to happygrasshopper.com. If you want a demo of Brivity and or Brivity valuations, type it into the chat box now. They will schedule a demo for today, tomorrow, etc., and we'll get you on there. They're doing a lot of promos with valuations where you get extra things you aren't going to be able to get in a month. If you want a seller site or a valuation site, I want you guys to just type into the chat box what you want, and we'll get you a demo scheduled. We do have limited amount of city guides. That's going to be the one that's going to go off the shelf, and that comes with our vendor advertising program. I want to know, are you guys winning? I'm going to be doing another call. We're going to do it August 1st, and I have a guest that is going to rock. And it's going to be back to my roots. Back to my roots is going to be kind of a techie call. We're going to talk about new technology, good technology, what to use, what not to use. It's going to be fun. And the guy's really smart. He spoke all over the nation, and we'll announce who that is on the email that goes out in a couple days. Raul, anything else you would like to say to these amazing people?
I would just say you're smart for being here. Just keep listening to Ben. I mean, he's an absolute giver of just pure knowledge because he's seen the highs, he's seen the lows, and now he's got his team like a 747 just headed in at an upward trajectory constantly because he's doing these things. He's seen it. Brivity is awesome. That is a must. So excited for the CRM. I can't wait. so I can get rid of, like you said, the cream of the crap.
Yeah, it's nice to see that commercial agents like you are doing it, and your wife, who does more residential, is using it as well. Thank you guys all for the call today. Raul, thank you for being on the call. Thank your amazing wife for loaning you to us today. If you guys got any referrals in Rancho Cucamonga, hit up our friends for residential or commercial. Otherwise, go prospect. Go use these scripts. Go do something. Quit stinking bugging me. Are you guys, one last question, are you guys happier than a guy pooping puppies, or what?
So happy.
So happy. See you guys later. Raul, see you later, buddy.
See ya.